Over 250,000 mourners from every corner of the world flooded St. Peter's Square, gathering beneath Rome's spring skies to say goodbye to Pope Francis, the 88-year-old, and the papacy with humility, courage and compassion. In a solemn liturgy led by Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, hundreds of religious leaders joined heads of state, including US President Donald Trump, to honor a man whose reach spanned faiths and borders alike. In a powerful break from tradition, Pope Francis was laid to rest, Mary Major, becoming the first pope in over 100 years to choose a final resting place outside the Vatican walls.
They came by foot, by bus, by prayer to the heart of Vatican City. Under the open Roman skies, St. Peter's Square became a river of humanity as more than 250,000 mourners gathered to say goodbye to the man who once called himself a sinner whom the Lord has looked upon. Security around the Vatican was unprecedented, with Italian authorities deploying more than 2,500 police officers and 1,500 soldiers, closing the airspace above Vatican City.
Omnibus malis, da propitius pacem in diebus nostris.
Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re presided over the solemn Requiem Mass, his voice breaking at times as he honored a life that redefined leadership with compassion. Behind him, a sea of red-robed cardinals, bishops, priests, and a sea of ordinary faithful stretching beyond the colonnade.
Pope
Francis incessantly raised his voice, imploring peace, calling for reason, and inviting honest negotiation to find possible solutions.
As the homily echoed across the square, Cardinal Re spoke of Francis' tireless fight for peace, dignity and the forgotten.
Che ci assicura che l'esistenza umana non termina nella tomba, ma nella casa del Padre, in una vita di felicità.
Among the sea of mourners, global power players stood in quiet solidarity. US President Donald Trump, French President Emmanuel Macron, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, Prince William and dozens of other leaders, their differences set aside for one shared farewell. Applause broke out as simple wooden casket, adorned only by a cross, emerged from St. Peter's Basilica, carried by 14 white-gloved pallbearers. A moment at once grand and heartbreakingly humble. The journey did not end there. Francis' final procession wound its way through the ancient streets of Rome, a 4-kilometer journey watched by 150 route. They waved flowers, wept, whispered and shouted last words, "Long live the Pope." But in typical Francis fashion, his farewell defied tradition. By his own request, the 88-year-old was laid to rest not in the Vatican crypts among the papal predecessors, but in the Basilica of St. Mary Major, the church where he prayed for migrants, mourned war casualties, and asked for strength to serve. His coffin, one plain wooden box lined in zinc, not the ornate. A final simple testament to a life of radical humility. As Rome's golden light fades, his legacy lingers, not in the marble or grand tombs, but in the hearts touched across the world. Ben Chumba, Legends Edition.